Alright guys, welcome to this episode on Trading Made Easy. No more whales tricking you. I would like to take you through how I do my trading to keep you guys from walking into things that are not healthy for you guys. When I scroll through Facebook and stuff and I see things like this, bought M-Box at 1074, now it's at 907, expert advice required. Don't you know what you got into before you got into it? Is this just pulling back for a little bit? There's so many questions that I could be asking, like, that you should know before doing this. And this kind of hurts to see people go through this when there's no need to do this. How much you lost in crypto? I lost more than $3,000. Losing money is terrible for anybody. But this could be minimized if you're better equipped and you're better understanding of what you're getting into before you do it. Why Shiba is not pumping like before? Okay, those are things that are easily answered. I have the tools for that to show you how you can find out yourself. I want to invest $5,000. Would you guys suggest me some crypto for a long run? Now, I'm guessing this is just a joke because I don't know anybody that has, money to throw around that you're just going to trust some strangers to tell you where to put your money in, and you have no clue what those companies are doing, and you're just going to just trust people just like that. So this got to be a joke, but if it's not, if this is for real, this is a bad way of investing. You must as well just go to Vegas and just yell out, guys, should I do a roulette, red or black? Which one should I pick? That's a 50-50 shot right there. It's like you probably have a better chance of winning than doing it this way. So there are tools for you guys to do this, and it's that you can actually improve your odds. Right? So this is a tool that traders use to see what the market is doing. A lot of times when you're trading inside your platform, it kind of looks like this, where it's very congested. You got the buyers, the sellers, where is it going, and you got your buy sell order down here. You got coins you can switch to, but this is very congested. It's hard to really see the bigger picture of where the coin is going. So this is a good place to go when you're ready to put your orders in. But to make it more simpler, we use these trading things so that we can have a greater view of where the market is going. Okay, so I would like to break this down, help you guys out on what it is that I use to understand what the market is doing. One of them is the Ichimoku System. It is super easy. I have videos. I'll link it right up here for you. This will explain how the Ichimoku System works. Then I have my 3 lines. They're moving averages. Now, before we go through all that, what is this? This one is called Crypto Watch. It's up here, Crypto Watch with a .ch at the end. You go in there, it's free. This will help you lay out your whatever coin you're looking at. You even have a thing on the side. It's totally free to use. When you start out in the beginning, you just go into your portfolio thing, and you just when it's not logged in, you make an account. It's free to make. If it is, then you log in, and when you log in, you're able to set up all the coins that you want to follow, and they'll be sitting here on the right hand side. So as you click them, you can switch to different coins, and you have your charts, your lines. It makes life so much easier, so you can see bigger, easier and cleaner to use than having something like this, which is tougher. Okay, this is what you buy and you sell, unless you use something like Coinbase that you can just convert, which is a lot easier. So that's up to you on how you buy and how you sell, but I'm mainly focusing on you understanding what is the coin doing. Okay, so we'll start with Bitcoin here to keep it clean, and we'll go from there. So if you went to the Ichimoku System, you'll understand how the cloud works. The cloud has 3 lines, this orange one, a light blue, and a dark blue, with the cloud itself, which is the green top and the red bottom. Easy to understand. But I'll kind of go very basic on this. If you want to go more detail, I have beginner, intermediate, and advanced free videos. I'm not charging you anything for you guys, so you can understand how this works. It does help tremendously, as you will see, understanding what direction the market is. Is it either bullish or bearish? If it's over the cloud, it's bullish. It wants to keep running to the upside. If it's under the cloud, it's bearish. So you have to treat the market differently based on where it is for the cloud. So the cloud helps you understand who is in control, the bears or the bulls. Okay, the 3 EMA lines, these are the moving averages. If this is the first time using this type of platform, you just go right up here and you I just add 3 EMA lines, and I got the Ichimoku cloud, And the first one, which is the white one, is my 50 EMA, okay, the exponential moving average. There's another one called a simple moving average. It's a little bit longer. That one I don't use. I use this one. It's a exponential moving average. So 50 for the white, make the other one 150 is the yellow, and 250 is the red. And you're gonna say, well, why are you doing that? Well, we're gonna go through all that, explain so you understand where the market is at. All right, so we're gonna go back a little bit. So let's just say we're back here and the market starts to run, okay? And all the lines are running very smoothly. So as long as it keeps running on top, you're doing pretty good. But notice here how it starts to get away from it. So this is where I would start watching it as it starts to get away from the lines, because there's always going to be a pullback. So here is the line for this one. The yellow line kind of gives you more of where it's easier to see where to put your lines to break it. I explained that better in the Ichimoku system. I don't want to go through too much through this right now. But as it starts to go up, it will start to pull back. Okay. Notice it pulls back to the white line, which is the 50 EMA. So what I'm paying attention to is this going to be a bounce here and go back up, or is it going to fail and go through to the yellow line? If it fails the yellow line, it will go down to the red line. If it fails through the red line, you're definitely changing direction on the market. Even if it's temporary, it's definitely switched direction. It's not bulls anymore. So in this case, it held for a little bit, and then it went back up, and it kept running. But see how it's way too far from the lines? You're always going to get that pullback. So this is not the time to be buying up here. This is where they all start pumping. They're like, oh, check this out. This was running. And everybody starts to jump in. And you're running and you're buying at the wrong time when it's way up there. You buy when it's down close to the line. This is your better odds. So if, for example, you're down here and everybody's saying, oh, the market is crashing, do the opposite. Seriously. You'll have a better chance if you do the opposite of what everybody is saying than if you listen to them. So when it's away from the line, you don't buy. If you already bought down here, you can take some profits. As it comes down to the line, you can buy. If for whatever reason, let's say it passed that, it broke down to the lowest line, I buy some more, because now you're doubling down on the down thing. Now remember, you got to make sure that you understand which coin you're getting into. Okay, you can't just be doing this on a crap coin, because you're always going to lose with those guys. So it's got to be projects, which I will show you some nice projects that actually make sense, that will be here for a long time, projects that are doing a lot of things, a lot of partnering up. You know that even if it fails temporarily, with all the stuff that's happening, they're partnering up and doing, you already know the coin will continue to go up. So as the market start pulling away from my 50 moving average, this is not the time to buy. Now you have to let it ride. Okay, as it starts to pull back and it starts to sit down here. Now this is on a daily chart. So you're looking at, as it comes back down, you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You have like an entire week of making your decision if it's something that you want to get into or not. It's not like you have to hurry up and get in, or the end of the world is coming. So as you decide, okay, this is going to hold or not hold, I'm looking at what my other lines are doing. As this is sitting here, the other two lines are still moving up. The 150 and the 250 are not flat. They're slowly coming up, slowly coming up, slowly coming up. That is a good sign that there is enough money in the market to hold that position. So you're looking at, is this flat or is it moving up? I'm also looking at the Ichimoku. You have the light blue and the dark blue. Again, you'll do better when you watch the videos. But right now, as it sits there, it's finding support on my 50. But then you got my Ichimoku, the Tekkensen and the Kijun-sen, that are kind of reversed. When you got the light blue on top of the dark blue, then it's a good strength to the upside. When they cross to the downside, that means there's pressure to the downside. So as of right now, there's pressure to the downside, but at the same time, it's finding support on my EMA. Okay. Also, the cloud gives you support. So you got a blue line, or the green line gives you support, and there's a red line giving you support. So as it sits there, If it fails, it's got clouds that's going to be holding it up, and it's got another cloud that's going to be holding it up. And so you have a lot of support underneath here and a lot of room to run. So as it starts to move and break above it, and here on February 2nd, now you have a nice candle above everything, it will start to move. Okay, so it starts to run. You're looking back at the orange line, which is the chicken sin, to see if it breaks away. As long as it's out in the open and it broke out of the all-time high, which was before right there at the 40,800, it starts to run. Once it starts to break, it starts to run again. It's almost like it got squeezed, like a soda can. When the market gets pressurized, it has to run either up or down when it gets squeezed. And this was in a squeeze. So between all these lines, it was just being compressed, and it needed to run. Which way? Well, everything is kind of giving you a little sign it's going to go to the upside. We got to keep an eye on it and watch which way it goes. It took off, and now it's running. Nice little run. So it went from 40,000 to about 57,000. Again, it's too far away, so it did another pullback. And that time it didn't stay for too long, and it kept running. Pullback. Kept running. Broke through. Now it's failing. So now you're looking at, this is a good place where the market strength now kind of expire. I don't want to go too far. It already is showing you that it doesn't have the strength to keep running. So now you're looking at, probably this is an opportunity where it's time to start taking some profits because the market just doesn't want to hold anymore. And we're here, kept finding support, no more support. So you have a bird's eye view of what the market is doing. Make sense? So of course, then we all know about this crash, that the big sell-off, and it went below everything. But even though it went below everything, it just stayed there. So now we're going to look at this from a negative point of view. The market is crashing, the market is over, the end of the world is coming, we're in a bear market. Yeah, but it's not falling. It's trying to break above, it can't. Trying to break above, and it can't. Trying to break above, and it can't. But it's not going down any lower either. So this is where you start making, your decision, which with me, I started way back, I started teaching this as a cup and handle formation. It went up, doing the cup and handle right here, and then it took off, which is doing exactly what I said was going to do. And now it's taking a little pullback, and it's another runoff coming up here pretty soon. This is definitely still very bullish, this stock, because of just everything that it's doing. But instead of giving you information without you understanding it, I'm showing you what it's doing. So as it came up, it tried to find support, but see those lines is breaking through? Those lines are breaking through. That's telling you that the 50 EMA is no longer respecting it. So you have to start paying attention to the yellow line. What is it doing with that one? Because it doesn't respect it for right now. As it tries to hit there, it kind of fell to the red one. So this is where my lines would be. If I had to pay attention to this. Oop, wrong one. Where's my line at? This is where I'll be doing to keep an eye on it. And you're saying, well, why like that? Why did you just cross across everything? See where the red line is? This will be the easiest way. I can go through explanation, but we'll just save some time. If you go through where this red line is, it will give you an idea of where the market is going. It's going to be staying inside this range right here. So it's an up wedge. So when you look at where the current Bitcoin is sitting at, you have two supports, you have a cloud, okay, but at the same time, the light blue is underneath the blue, the dark blue, and the 50 EMA is above it. So right now it's being kind of squeezed again. So the squeeze got support, but unless it has enough momentum to push to the upside with some big buying power coming behind it, chances are Bitcoin will probably come down to 52 or even 48,000 before doing a big run, because it always likes to kick people out before it runs. So don't be surprised if you get another one of these big wicks that shouldn't happen, but that's market manipulation. It's trying to find people that are sitting there that are heavy leverage to kick you out. So right now, it could come back up and try to break the 64,000, and if it fails, I'll come back down again, or it might do a wick thing and then take off. Because nobody has a crystal ball, you just need to be prepared to whichever it's going to do. All right, so we'll move on to some other coins so you have a better perspective of what I'm trying to say here. All right, so we'll try ADA, and we'll kind of work our way down slowly. All right, so ADA is on a downtrend right now, but you got to look at the bigger picture. So let's pull back for a second. Let's go to 1 week, and there's not a lot of history, but it will give you a basic understanding of what's it doing. So see the orange line, it stopped right there, came down, it broke through, but then it found support. This is a very strong support and resistance. So that's where I would mark it. I would mark it right there because it found resistance, then it found support, broke through again, very strong. So we already know that that is where a lot of the buyers and sellers will be sitting at $1.33. Okay, so and then you kind of go up, it went up there, came back down, it broke through, but this is an area that is having some issues as well. So I marked it there and marked it here. Everybody's got different ways of marking things, but this is a nice clean way of keeping you out of trouble. All right, now we'll go back down to the daily and let's look at the bigger picture. All right, so you have a red cloud. Red cloud means that it's still in the downtrend, and it pulled away too far away from all the lines. So it is wanting to go back. So it could go back to $1.89, but it might be short-lived only because it's underneath the red line, which is the 250, which right now is playing as resistance. So it's trying to break above this. You got the orange line doing the same thing. It cannot get above it. So you have some stuff that's keeping it back. Now, does this mean that's going to fall? Probably, maybe. Maybe it'll run up before it bounce back down. But unless something big happens where a lot of money comes in, this is going to run its course. Or if you get some good news that comes in a sense of like you got Sunday swap, so you got to keep an eye on what projects are coming on. This could turn around or it could stay here for a while. And considering that this is a very strong resistance and this is a very strong support, this could sit between $2.29 and $1.30 and just sit here in a range. It could easily just be bouncing back and forth until something big happens. So what do? Well, keep an eye on it. Right now, you know that it's got some heavy pressure to the downside. It also did a TK cross here. TK cross is down here. Did my 2 EMAs crossed. The 50 went below the 150, which it means it's going to put pressure to the downside. So chances are it's going to be pushing it down unless something happens and skips above it and starts running. Now, good news for this, very thin cloud. The market usually has a tough time breaking through thick clouds. So as it comes up, it's going to get pushed right back down. If it does break through inside a cloud, it's called turbulence inside a cloud, so it starts to bounce back and forth, doesn't know which way it wants to go. Something thin like this, it has a very good chance to escaping back up to the upside. Make sense? Like if you look back here, it got inside the cloud, it bounced, it's just sitting there trying to figure out which way it wants to go. It broke underneath it and then it fell and it just took it to the downside. The pressure was too much. So see how the cloud considers trying to figure out which way it wants to run. Something thin right here, it just ran right through it. It got stuck a little bit and then it ran. And off it went. So even though there are pressures to the downside, you can also consider this it's got some good support. A lot of people are going to be buying it, and this is being pushed to the downside. So when it does decide to run, it's going to run hard and fast because it's just like another soda can. The market does a lot of these things where it gets pressurized and it needs to escape either up or down, but it needs to escape some direction. So that's one of those you got to keep an eye on. All right, let's try AMP for example. Here's a perfect example of a coin that doesn't want to do anything. I mean, if you look at it, it just sits sideways. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. It's staying in a range. So it doesn't really do anything. So the lines are flat. This is just staying here. Even though it takes off, it just comes right back down. So until it gets to be a bigger coin or something starts to like, good news or something, it might stay here for a little bit longer. Can it surprise you? Oh, absolutely. I got some money in this because it's still a good project. It's just very early. It just started. All right, you got next one, Atlas, for example. Atlas, man, from the minute it took off from from 7 cents, it went to 22 cents, and it just started. It's a space metaverse kind of game, and the same thing. It's very, very new. See, they have like no lines because it doesn't have any history to grab onto. So we're going to go down to the 4 hour to get a better history. So I go from a daily to the 4 hours to the 1 hour, and I can do 30 minutes, 5 minutes, and stuff like that. Usually I don't do 1 minute because it's just too choppy and there's nothing down there. So 4 hours, now you have a better clean look at what is it doing. All right, so there's my red line. So I drew my line right there. I saw some resistance up here, just to give you an idea of what's going on. And don't think that you have to be, you know, dead on accurate on make sure, like, does the line go up here? Does it go right here? Does it? It's a line to give you. You can do this without the lines. This is just to give you an idea of what's in its way. I don't need the lines because I got the cloud telling me that that's in its way. So the line is actually the cloud. I already see it. But just for teaching purposes, I'm doing this. So as you can see that it went too far away from the white line, the 50 EMA, it pulled back. It tried to keep going, but down it came. It was forced down. Then later on tried to escape, more selling power. Tried to go back up. It cannot seem to get away from that. And because of that, it failed. And now it didn't respect it. And then now it's going to the yellow, and then it's not going to respect it. It's not respecting that one either. Now we're looking at the 250. So if I would want to buy, I would wait till it gets down here and buy down here. Now, this is to give you an idea of when to buy. Is not an exact science. So you can't say, oh, I'm not buying until it touches at 0.1539349. It's not going to be that accurate. You're in the zone, in the area. So it fell, got a little bit of green. It's going to fail again. Chances are it might go a little bit below it. Look at the history. It does respect the red. It did a little bit of failing there, so you got to keep an eye on it because it might fail this next one. But as soon as it gets around 15 cents, 16 cents, yeah, around 15, 16, I would buy some more. Because the history shows that if you look at it, it goes up, it bounces, goes up, it bounces. It's going to break the 22 cents. Might go to 24 cents, then it'll bounce around 19. So these prices at 16, you might not see it again after this. This is the best time to get it. If you like the project, you need to understand what the project is. All right. So now you kind of have an idea of how I do the lines. Now I'm going to show you how I keep an eye on the trades. So let's say I already have, this is my crypto watch. These are the coins that I like watching. And these are the ones that I'm actually in right now. And what I do is anything that has 1%, 3%, they don't really do much. I mean, 3% is not moving. For example, you got theta 3%. It doesn't mean anything. Let's see, theta. 3%, it's that. It's not really doing anything because just as it went up, it came down. It's more likely going to fail again because now I got my 250 EMA, my 150 EMA, and the cloud. That is really holding it down. Now, if it breaks above it and stays up here, then that's a runner. But chances are it's going to keep it there for a little bit longer unless something big happens. So I'm not really looking for these little ones. I'm looking for this 11%, 10%, but not in the green, but in the red. Green I can't buy. If I look at Matic right now, this is not the best time to buy. Where's my Matic one? Oh, it's right there in front of me. Sorry. If I look at Matic, this is not the time to buy. But this is where right now everybody's probably talking about it. This is where most people are jumping in right now. Look how far away it is from the 50 EMA. $1.89. So you are 40 cents way too far. Now, my other two lines are moving up. That's very nice. But still, this is going to do a pullback. If it's healthy, it'll do a pullback. If there's a lot of dumping, more money, it might run a little higher, and then you're going to get these big red bars, big red bars, big red bars, and everybody's going to get hurt holding the bag. So don't buy here. You buy only when it gets closer or it starts to consolidate. You know, sit there for a while, and you start watching these lines coming up. Then you might see that it starts to come down, touches the line. That's when you buy, and then it'll take off. That's the right way of doing it. So me right now, Atlas at 6% is still not enough. Let's go back to Atlas. Yep. We're still waiting for it to come a little bit closer to 15 cents. Now, this one is 15 cents. If it's something higher, that could be a whole $10 difference. You know, depending on which coin you're getting into. If it's Ethereum, that could be a $500 difference right there. So depending on the coin that you're getting into, that makes a big difference. So if you understand how to do it with a 1 penny, you'll do the same thing if you're doing it with Bitcoin or Ethereum. Let's see what Ethereum is doing. Because Bitcoin sneezes and it does $5,000 move. You know? Alright, so you got this one right here. I was showing something for that for another course. But see how it failed? So you gotta, right now it's in a range. It goes up, it goes down. It goes up, not a good time to buy. Down, good time to buy. It goes up, it goes down. So far you've seen that every time it's been below the 250 EMA, it's been coming right back up. It goes down, best time to buy, goes up. It cannot break through there, came down. Oops, excuse me. So, but again, these, you're talking about $4,600, $4,000, a $600 difference when you're jumping in. So you don't want to buy when it has a lot of resistance. You want to buy if it comes above and it stays. Like it broke above there, but unless it stays there and it starts to run, this is not the time to be buying. It came right down. It's trying to push through. Can it get above it? We don't know. If it goes above and it stays there and it starts to run, get in. If it comes down to around the red area, get in. Now, wait. Make sense? So I look for these big 12%, 10%, but in the red to see when my best time to buy is. So this is kind of giving me a heads up. So I'll be waiting to see if I can sniper this and get some more coins right here. So, will you make a mistake? Yes. Do you need to get out quick? Absolutely don't wait. It's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to stay wrong. There are plenty of tools that will help you trade the right way that you do not need to be. Like let's say I went in here and I bought. And for whatever reason, this a red bar down here. And there's another red bar down here. I'm getting out. I'm not going to be sitting here asking people on Facebook, hey, should I buy? Should I stay? What should I do? That's not their money. You know, like this is way below, especially if I see that it goes below this right here. I do not want to be in that trade. Could this turn into a range? Absolutely. We don't know. You know, that's why we have to keep an eye on it. So if I see that it bought here and it bounces off of this, then I'll know this is a good support. Then I'll buy more down here to offset my buy that's up there. So that way, you know, it helps me get better leverage into it. So when it runs, I'm making more money. So now the question is, how do you find great projects? All right, well, here's another free site, Coinmarketcap.com. This does a lot more than just, you know, giving you what the number, you know, one coin is and all that stuff. If you look at this row right here, it will give you different projects. All right, so there are different type of projects that you can get into that will help you, you know, get in, what do you call it, an advantage, get in there early. You're looking for early projects that have potential. So what we're doing is, let's say you go into the metaverse. All right, so in the metaverse right now, Axie Infinity, which is in 25th position, is sitting at $139. Now that's pretty rich for me. That's too much. All right, some people have the money for that. I'd rather find something a little bit less. So look at other project. Well, the second one down is Mana, Decentraland. That looks like a good project for $4. A little bit more palatable, right? And it's then $139 each. So then you start doing the research. What is it? Well, then you click on it and it will tell you what it does. And there's other things you can go into. You can just go to YouTube and find out. I have videos on what metaverse, what Decentraland is, you know, and you can find out who markets sells this. So like if Binance has it, Coinbase has it, you know, KuCoin has it. So that's what sometimes I see people on Facebook asking questions like, where can I buy this coin? Right here. You just look in here, it will tell you. You don't need people to tell you where to go. All right, so then you got NFTs projects, because you guys all have NFTs. It just has all these different categories. Just kind of go through it, like Solana right now. Let's say, right? Solana will show you what it's on it. Don't look at Tether. Tether is that will never change a dollar. But you got Chainlink. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get into projects. If I, like for example, let's say these are the ones that I'm into, and why I'm into them is because I compare them to other stuff that's out there. So for example, I'm into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the world's first widely adopted cryptocurrency. Particularly, more and more countries are jumping on board. More banks are buying into it, so it will become scarce, and that the value will continue to go up into millions of dollars. And if you think I'm wrong, let me know. A year from now if I was wrong. Then you're looking at things like platforms. You have Ethereum, Cardano's a platform. All right, scaling solution, which is Matic, Polygon. It's on top of the Ethereum. And I'm into different things, oracles, Chainlinks. Chainlink is in everything. It's in Solana, in Ethereum, it's on Cardano. Chainlinks is an oracle. Oracles are very important. And as long as they keep doing new partnership, that Chainlink will do very well. It can go up to $100. Then you got streaming networks, Theta, indexing. Imagine if you can buy Google before Google got big. The Graph is under $1 right now. The Graph does for the cryptocurrency like Google did for the internet. It does the same type of thing. Then you got supply management, which is VeChain. VeChain, some of the biggest companies use VeChain. Yes, it is a Chinese company, but it is amazing. This thing can keep track of everything. Farming stuff or milk before it goes bad to products so they don't get stolen. You got BMW, Walmart uses them. You got Louis Vuitton, huge company uses VeChain to keep track of their products. So yeah, it's a great company to get into. And best thing about it is only sitting right now for the price of 11 cents. Now that's a project to get into. But you got to be patient and let the thing rise. Will this go to $1? Absolutely. Look at huge companies are into it. That's the ones you get into. You got sports, Chili's, Metaverse. You got Mana, Decentraland. You got Star Atlas. These are games that you can play online and make money. Collateral stuff, AMP, payments stuff like Cody. So these are things that I'm into, that I follow. Can it change a year from now, 6 months from now? Yeah, it depends on what they're doing. As long as they keep moving forward with their projects, I stay with them. I had coins that they went up, they were doing great, but then I noticed that they weren't doing anything anymore. They weren't really sharing anything. I got out, and then those coins kind of went down because they were just, you have to keep an eye on things. You can't just invest and forget. The market is full of, pump and dumps. You got these guys that do the market makers, the ones that watch the algorithms. They pump things up, they dump it on you guys. By doing this can be an investment for your future and for your kids' future. This doesn't have to be Vegas. It doesn't have to be like, stop looking for that 100x coin that you want to put your $100 in there and you're going to walk away with $100,000 in the next 60 days. Because you want something like has to be like quickly. What coin can I get into? If it was that easy, don't you think there'll be more millionaires around? It doesn't work like that. It takes time. You invest in something, you let it sit there. Anything worth waiting for, you will make good money in your return. Anything that you try to rush, you will continue to keep losing your money into bad investments. So I'll say it again, it's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to stay wrong. Just do it the right way. Do it the smart way. All right. So, again, this is the website. It's free. You guys can. It's called the Crypto Hodlers. If you enjoy the videos, give it a thumbs up. It will help. And I broke it down. You're new to crypto? No problem. We're here to help. This will teach you step by step in 7 minutes understanding how cryptocurrency works. If you already know how to do that, then you don't need that video. Then you go, what is an NFT? What about some trading platforms? Here's some wallets. Like Exodus is a wallet you keep your money in to keep it safe. It's always safe to keep it off the exchanges. Then I do some news and updates, do some trading floors, different coins. These are good projects, bad projects. Everything's in here. Understanding the market. Particularly, this one's a good one everybody likes to get into. That one has already 12,000 views. I done it like 2 years ago, and it's still current today as it was back then. Here it is, Ichimoku System. beginning, intermediate, advanced, and understanding the Ichimoku part, some indicators. But again, keep it simple. You don't need a lot of indicators. What I showed you is more than enough for you to know if you're getting into a good trade or a bad trade. All right, guys. If you guys need anything, just leave a comment at the bottom, and I'll see you guys in the trading room.